Alright, there's background music in the microphone feed. I can see it in OBS. I don't care. Alright. And yes, the courier, this is an unscheduled dev stream. And as you can probably tell by the slurriness in my voice, I'm not fully awake. Alright, we got the bug list up. Now we just need Rider. I don't know how you can't hear that. Alright. Need to make a little bit of a rearrangement here. The coffee cup needs to be in front of me, not beside me. Alright. Okay. So. How's everybody doing? Provided I hit the right fucking button. Yeah, okay, good. Alright. So. Before we kick this stream off, I have some news. But I cannot tell you guys the news. Not yet. I will tell you guys the news eventually. Because it's very good news. But I'm not allowed to tell you the news yet. So instead, I'm going to keep it a mystery. However, what I will say... What I will say is I've been learning a lot of Qt, or Qt, however you want to pronounce it. I personally prefer Qt. Been learning a lot of QML. And if we hop over to... That's not the right window. If we hop over to invent.kde.org, once it decides to load, we can head over to the Richie over here. We click my name. And there should be a few push to branch events. But right below that, right below all this, seriously right below all this, really far down in the list, to the point where it doesn't show, there's a better way to do this, I think. I don't know. If anyone knows how to show the more distant activity on a GitLab profile? View all, maybe? Nope. Issues, merge requests, pushes, and comments. Yes, that's what I want to see. Is there another view all button, maybe? I really want to show you guys the merge request. There may be a better way to do this. I think if we go invent KDE org frameworks. Okay, text editor. It is filling in a merge request. Who wants to bet that this is the merge request? Who opened it? That'd be me. Okay. So this merge request was a few days ago. If you guys aren't familiar, K-Text Editor is the back end of it's kind of the shared code base between Qt and KWrite. So Qt, the KDE Advanced Text Editor, that's what that stands for, if you're curious. It has a feature where you go into a new document, or you can have a giant window open somewhere. That's not what I meant to have open. Let's say you write the word Richie 3 times for some reason. You select it, and you come up here to Tools. You'll find my favorite menu in the entire codebase. Text-to-speech. Say current selection or oh god. Say current selection or document. You can't hear it, because I'm not picking up desktop audio, because I'm listening to very heavily copyrighted music right now. But it has said Richie 3 times. This merge request takes that menu, and if I close out of Kate, no, we don't want to save. I don't know why I clicked save. I wanted to click discard. We go into this other program I commandeered a few days ago. And we go recent projects. Kate. We wait for it to load. We hit F5. The magic button that does things. Occasionally. Sometimes. Though it seems to be misbehaving right now, so I'm just gonna click the debug button instead. We're gonna end up compiling Kate. It'll take a little bit. Alright. So it's gonna boot. Didn't take too long to compile. We're gonna end up with a similar kind of screen. Go new document. Type Richie 3 times. And you right click. And now, say current selection or document is right in the right click menu. That has been merged. I don't think it's been released yet to any distro packages. But if you need that feature, it's in Kate now, and it's in KWrite too. So, if I ever need to read a text document, I can. That's the news. That's some of the news. I've been learning Qt, and I've been learning QML, and I've been learning Qt widgets and all that wonderful stuff, and all the wonderful KDE stuff, and I have made my second merge request get merged. Start off strong with Kwin, and then we move to K-Text Editor, so yeah. But I feel like taking a little bit of a break from learning all of that, because it's a little intensive, it's a little hard on the brain, and it's not C#. Very much not C#. So, I got this list of other bugs in front of me that I'd like to fix. We have... we can order some cake, which we're not going to do in this stream. There will be no cake in this stream. I don't feel like eating cake. There's one bug we could look into where fork bombs significantly lag the game. We've got shrinking a terminal causes text to disappear. Terminal text disappears when dragging a selection box below the window. Blur intensity not scaled by UI scale. These are all socially distant bugs, by the way. Blurs break when partially off screen. There's that bug. Blurs don't re-render when the game's backdrop changes. Not ideal. Windows can't be dragged by their title text. Windows lose focus when clicking unfocusable widgets. That's not good. Changing font size breaks window decorations. We'll have to look into that. Changing font size requires game restart. I will show you guys why. Mouse scrolling in code editor, we need that. Mouse selection in code editor, I've implemented that, but I don't think I've merged it yet. Page up, page down in code editor. Weird corner rounding in code editor when selecting things. So yeah, there are a lot of bugs that I'd like to try to fix. Welcome, Haslam, to the stream. Glad to see you here. How do I like the Qt stuff? I don't know enough about it to make a verdict. I like QML. I kind of wish QML was a part of Socially Distant, if you ask me. I do like the way it generally works. I'm not too keen on Qt dbus, though. Do not get me started about Qt dbus. Dbus is sadism standardized. And Qt dbus does not help. What I will say, though, is it's a nice change of pace. And working on QML stuff with Qt Quick is nothing like working on Socially Distant. And that's a rag on Socially Distant. Well, to be fair, QML, it does have a JavaScript engine, but it's not like using JavaScript. It really isn't. It's a markup language, and it looks a lot like JavaScript. And there are a lot of JavaScript things you can do, but it is strongly typed. So as far as I'm aware, there's none of this bullshit of like, oh, fucking string 1 plus number 2 equals 12 or shit like that. Like, there's no weird type coercion crap. Alright, so, I don't know what branch of the game I'm on right now, but I suspect it's a relatively new one. One of the bugs I'd like to fix, hopefully in this stream, is if you come down to the accessibility settings, there's font size selection here. And look what it does when I go to a bigger font. Yeah, so effectively, The UI recognizes that I've changed the font size and everything gets larger. But not quite. Not quite the way I need it to. It fixes itself-ish. I wonder. I might be onto something. This might be the quickest bug fix ever. If I reboot system settings. No. What if I go to the About screen, which doesn't? Nope. Okay, so something is going on here. Basically the font size doesn't fully fix itself. And we got some very cursed user interface issues going on here. This is great. Excuse me. Yes, terminal, got some weird spacing issues here. Yeah. So I need to look into that. Alright, coffee's finished. The bloom around the text looks weird. What looks weird about it? Okay, it's not perfect. The real problem is the font size itself. The layout engine knows that things have changed, but it doesn't seem to be rendering text properly. But it's weird, because once you restart the game, everything's fixed. I mean, yeah, we have layout issues caused by these icons, but you go into a terminal, and it's terminal. It's just terminal. It works. It's fine. It's great. Everything renders properly. The bloom is patchy. We could debug that. Let's see what we can do about that. If I skip merging with the screen, what's gonna happen? Okay, so this view right here shows you what the bloom effect adds to the UI on top of what's already rendered. So here's what I notice. We have... Yeah, I can definitely see how it would look patchy. Admittedly, I'm not too sure what to do about that. If I crank up the blur itself. So right now it's below 1. I don't know how this looks. Maybe in the settings. Well, this is what settings looks like, according to Bloom. Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna restart the game. You guys are my eyes for this one. I'm gonna restart the game. I'm gonna bring it back to system settings, and I'm gonna bring it back to small font. And we'll see if it's still patchy. So we go up here, we go, holy fuck, everything's huge. Alright, oh god. I don't know what happened with the UI there. Alright, now we're gonna restart the game again. Some parts of the font are brighter than other parts. That's normal. That's just how text rendering works in the game right now. I'm assuming this is where it looks patchy, right? Actually, there may be a way around the text rendering problems, maybe, but I'm not gonna focus on that and on oh, stroke! Burn toast. I'm not gonna focus on that during the stream. Okay. Because I can definitely see there's some streaking. Like, look below the S here. There's some weird streaking going on, and you can see it with the E as well. I don't know what you guys are really... I don't know what you guys mean by patchy, though, admittedly. The most I think about is the weird streaking kind of... It looks like my glasses are dirty type effect here. I don't actually have glasses on right now, because there's no point right now, but, like... Yeah. I don't know if that's what you guys were talking about, though. Alright, well. Speaking of graphical effects, I'm not gonna look too far into the bloom yet, because it's kind of... It's a little hard to work on. But we do have a little bit of an issue I'd like to fix. And that is, as I drag this terminal around, it looks fine, right? Get your background blur. It seems to be live updating with the UI. That's all well and great. Let's drag it over here. As you can see, that is not a background blur. That is solid black. I'd like to fix that. Thankfully, I do know how to fix that. Ish. So let's get started. Alright. So, we're gonna go to background blur with hit effect. Provided I can type. We've been here before. Should be a throwback to a previous dev stream. Spent a lot of time here. So somewhere along the lines of around here would be... should be the, screen area. Yeah, we found it. Screen area. This is where it grabs the, the blur background, the stuff that it's trying to blur. It's hard for me to commentate when I'm reading, admittedly. So we got width invalidate geometry, we've got hashed geometry that dispose. Okay, yeah. Okay, render, not grab, blur target 1, screen area. I think I'm gonna fix this at a virtual screen level, so that no matter how bad of an input you give it, it doesn't go solid black on you. Okay, one implementation of that. Yes, let's dig even further down into the levels of abstraction that every programmer loves. Okay. So, here's what I'm gonna do. We have a destination area. We have a source area. We have a render target 2D that it wants to, render into. And somewhere up here, there should be a render target 2D representing the screen. Okay. Alright. So, somehow I need to make the source rectangle fit within the virtual screen. I need to make the destination rectangle match up with the source rectangle in size. So here's how I'm gonna do that. First, we check if source area that left is less than 0. And then we grab the amount of distance from the left edge of the screen to the left edge of this rectangle. That's very easy to get. You just get the absolute value of source area that left. And then what you do is you subtract that from the width of source area. And you add it to source area. And I believe you do the same to destination area. So let's see if that gets the left side working right. Or we could just fail to compile. That works too. I'm fine with that. That makes the streams more entertaining. That's great. That's fine. I'm totally not. Damn it, mono game! And increase the X value, not the left value. Even though X and left are equivalent. Alright. So it looks like we no longer go black on the left side of the screen. And it looks like the blur is grabbing the right area of the screen. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright. So that's the left side done. Now we do top. So it's the same idea. It's just that you replace left with top, X with Y, and width with height. So, top. Top. Height. Y. Height. And then Y. Alright, I should be able to drag the terminal up toward the top of this. I can't get it much farther than where it is. I've kind of gotten it like a pixel off screen. No, not even. I can't really test that. We're gonna have to trust that that works. Alright, let's do the right and bottom sides, since those are significantly easier to test. So, if source area right is greater than or equal to, no, greater than virtual screen target dot width. I'm gonna go with right, even though it's gonna be equivalent to the width in this case. Oh yeah, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a fucking belt check for our virtual screen area. Or virtual screen target. Because if there's no screen to copy from, then what the fuck are we doing? Alright, there we go. Why is it bound stop right, not height? Alright, so how do we get the nudge for this? Well, you take the source area, right, you subtract it from virtual screen target dot bounds dot right. That's what you do. And then you take the node and you subtract it from the width. Okay. That should be the right side. The only problem with this would be... Alright, this is a relatively easy problem to fix. So, there is a problem where if the right edge of the source rectangle is below 0, we shouldn't render. If the bottom edge is below 0, if that makes sense, we shouldn't render either, because then it's completely off-screen. If the left edge is greater than the width of the virtual screen, then we're also off-screen. And if the top edge is greater than the height of the virtual screen, then we're also off-screen and shouldn't render. So, let's get that working. So source area to right is less than or equal to 0. We don't render. Same with bottom. Okay, so that's for the right edge. And then... Okay, so that's going to make my life significantly easier going forward. Making sure that we never render if it's off-screen. Now let's see if the code works. So if we drag over to the right edge of the screen, it just works. It never goes black on me. Awesome. And there's no flickering either. That's another thing I noticed. Likely because of an OpenGL error involving copying off-screen areas of a render target to off-screen areas of another render target. That tends to cause problems. Luckily, we've fixed that. Except for the bottom edge of the screen, which I will now do. Alright. So let's try the bottom of the screen now. And yeah, we're good to go. can get it fully submerged too. Awesome. That's a little quality of life improvement. Fix grab passes that are partially off screen, resulting in solid black textures. Alright, so what was that issue with the blurs breaking when off screen? Blurs break when partially off screen. What's the issue number? I didn't start a drag and drop. Why did you start a drag and drop, Chrome? Okay, that's issue number 47. Alright. User interface insecticide. Let's edit this. Partially off-screen grab passes. Now only grab the on-screen regions. Issue number 47. GitLab, fix your code, or fix your markdown editor, please. Alright, this is number 47. Alright, this is merge request for 37, so I'm gonna hop into 47 over here and close it. Fixed in merge request 37. Close it. Not bad. Not a bad start. $22? What would 22 mean? Alright. Blur intensity not scaled by UI scale. That should be relatively easy to fix. It should be back in background blur widget effect. It should just be a matter of updating the shader parameters with... Okay, so there's this do blur method. It's got one usage. Okay, we got blur settings here. I'm gonna insert something. It's gonna be... geometry? No, render? Yeah, there we go. Render scale. What type of data is that? I believe it's either a point or it's gonna be a vector 2. It's vector 2. Alright. Render scale. And how we're gonna do this is the blur scale is going to be the larger number of render scale.x and render scale.y. Alright. When do we update the shader parameters? Half pixel parameter, brightness parameter, contrast parameter, passes parameter. Blur size times blur size. Or blur scale factor. The only problem with this is gonna be this passes value. So, calculating blur passes is easy enough. So, instead of directly calling this math.ceiling method, I'm going to take this. I'm going to say compute passes. Paste that in. Or not. That's not what I meant to do at all. Okay. So if you have a blur size set, you can easily get its number of passes. But if you have something else in mind, which I will need, you just call this compute passes method. And then that should be a case of calculating the blur size up here. And then we can use the same blur settings.compute passes method to calculate the scaled blur sizes passes, because it does matter. You need to get them lined up properly. And instead of doing the multiplication here, I've already done it earlier, so we paste that in. And then where does it say passes? Right here. And now, blurs should respect the UI scale. Which means that at 4K, they should be double as intense as they would be at 1080p. Which effectively makes them the same intensity. Because of the UI scaling. And that is the case. As you can see, this is getting blurred to absolute fucking hell. Which is the way I want it. You can't read any of that text. Of course I know it says Workspace 1. Okay. I wonder if I should give the same treatment to Bloom. I don't think I can. Bloom is in a completely different part of the game's codebase. So no, I won't. Alright. Okay. This is issue number 48. Alright, we can close that issue. 2 bugs fixed. Ah. Oh, now the tab complete. Okay, there we go. Boom! 2 bugs sent to the grave where they belong. I want to look into the code editor mouse selection. Whoa. Oh, okay. We gotta be careful about Kwin right now. There's a bug. I'd like to look into it, eventually. Where hovering over taskbar items in KDE causes a hang because of the window preview. That hangs the compositor for a little bit. So that's something to know about. I know the Git channel's spoiling the stream. You know what? It's still live. I don't care. Okay, we have several branches locally. We have the hackening, we have terror, we have signals, progression, narrative fixes, matrix, login fix, insecticide, glob, flow, file associations, and code editor. What branch am I on right now? We're on Insecticide. Alright, I'm gonna rebase this onto code editor. I have never in my history of ever had a rebase go that well. Okay. So if I double-click help.txt. Okay, we have drag selection in this build. Alright, cool. Let's push it up. So what issue was that had the mouse scrolling stuff in it? Or not mouse scrolling, mouse selection. This is issue 38. Okay. That was the easiest bug fix ever. All I had to do was take code I wrote a few weeks ago and fix it and merge it in. That's all I needed to do. Is the issue, or is the merge request editor going to load? Who wants to bet that a bunch of AI companies are fucking DDoSing my GitLab server? They've been hitting KDE Invent and GNOME GitLab. And I think Codeberg as well. Can you imagine if these were KDE bugs I was nailing? They're not, but could you imagine if I was able to move this fast with KDE? Windows lose focus when clicking unfocusable widgets. Why? Wait a minute. I just noticed this. Look at the icon. That looks suspiciously like a coffee cup. I mean, look at it. You got the little rectangular area that kind of represents the actual cup. You have this little handle looking thing. I have coffee cups with handles that look like that. You know, kind of angled off like that. Is GitLab trying to send me a message with this icon? It looks a lot like a coffee cup. Of course, I know it's a paper stacked on top of another paper, because that's what it looks like, but... And that's what it's more likely to be. But... Input fields don't repaint when deleting text. Text icon hinting. I'm not gonna fuck with text rendering. I don't want to fuck with text rendering or fractional UI scales. If it takes years for KDE and GNOME to get that right... I'm one person. Tracking issue, sound effects. That requires paying someone. We're not... I'm not uprooting the entire shader compilation engine, and so no, not right now. This one requires multiple programmers, an artist, and a sound designer, so no, we're not doing that one. Changing font size breaks window decorations. We'll look into that later. I really want to look into why... changing font size requires a game restart. That's kind of important for accessibility to not have that bug. You know who we need in the chat right now with this bug? We need the evil skeleton. Somebody please summon the evil skeleton. I don't know if saying the evil skeleton 3 times or 4 times will summon the evil skeleton, but we should really summon the evil skeleton. By the way, I've said the evil skeleton 6 times already. Alright. So I want to be focused on this part of the code, because when I change the font size, I want to see it change. Alright, I need widget debugger. What's that, F9? Yeah. I didn't intend on doing that. Silly I am GUI. Expanding and contracting a tree view does not mean opening the tree view node. Just so you know. Alright, let's try invalidating layout. That's doing nothing for me. Why does this bug happen? And where's the drop down? Did the game just fucking crash? No, somehow I opened the in-game text-to-speech manual. I don't know how I managed that. Somewhere in the sea of broken text rendering and UI layout, there is a drop-down in this menu that lets me fix it. There it is. Where did you open? Okay, there we go. So what happens when I change that setting? Go large. Okay, so we hit the breakpoint. So we've got the accessibility settings going here. Typeface reference pixels per inch is not equal to new PPI. New reference PPI. Okay, so that's GUI scaling support. I don't see anything about accessibility, though. Wait. Text element scale. I did change the setting. That should have... Yo, I set it to large. I set it to large. What the fuck? I clicked large. Why is it still small? This is the strangest bug ever, guys. Okay. So it did eventually propagate. But for whatever reason... What if I invalidate all layout? Okay. Here's hoping that's recursive. Don't get fooled by the fact that it's gonna look like it worked. I don't think that it will have worked. Nope. That did not work. Okay, so now I'm thinking... What happens on typeface.setReference pixels per inch? I love navigating a UI where the text is all cramped. So all the typefaces are dumping their atlases. That's good. But... something's clearly not working out. Also, I'm not sure why there are so many typefaces loaded in at once. This one's really tough. I don't know if I can do this bug. I don't understand why it's happening, which I guess is why it's a bug. Okay, I don't see why the game needs to reset a key in order to set the key. Alright, let's see if that gets the UI to kick itself into high gear. I gotta clear out all these damn breakpoints. Or we could have a crash that works too. I love .NET sometimes. It's great. I've seen this bug before in older builds of the game. Game. You're supposed to run when I hit F5. There's not supposed to be any of this hung background thread bullshit keeping the process alive. There shouldn't be any background threads in the game. Okay, so that got it to reset the accessibility settings to the first. We're still having the bug. The only thing I can think of. The only thing I can think of is that the reference PP or the reference pixels per inch is getting set back to 96. That's all I can think of. Well, let's see if this method gets called twice. It shouldn't be. It isn't. What? Okay? You know my favorite bug? The one with no explanation for why it happens. It's great. Good to know there was a rendering glitch with that drop-down box. Hmm. This is such a weird bug. um... I think we're gonna postpone that bug. It's stumping me. I can't believe it's stumping me that much. Alright, let's look into another bug. That bug. I don't know where the text went. I just know it's completely off screen. Fucked if I know why. Let's see if removing a single equals sign is enough to fix that bug. If that's enough to fix that bug, then I'm gonna be flabbergasted. Nope. 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 Alright. There seems to be no bound heck whatsoever. Yes, the fucking text went to go get cigarettes and it never came back. Okay, math min scroll offset number of rows. There's gotta be something wrong with my math that's throwing it off. I know it. Yeah, 'cause I cannot I physically can't scroll below that area. But if I drag a selection down here... Okay, so if I'm already at 0, I can't do it. What the fuck? That's not how scrolling is supposed to work at all! What? It's going in the opposite direction, that's gotta be the problem. Go away, text-to-speech documentation. We don't need you. Right now, I am working on just generally bug-fixing the game and making things a little bit better. I don't really have much else I can do right now. Right now, I'm stuck on this annoying-ass fucking bug. Where the terminal just seems to forget how to cursor. And forget how to scroll. Well, I'll be fucking damned. It's scrolling backwards. That might have been the bug the entire time. Yeah, that fixed it. Let's try going from the top down. Yeah, we're good to go. It was scrolling backwards this whole time. Come on, push, 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 push! There you go, you got it. Okay. Terminal. This bug right here. Issue number 49. It's now fixed. I think I might have. I think I might have. Okay. So, lesson learned. Never ever repeatedly scream the word POH on stream. Never bug sent straight to the fucking down under. Alright, do we want to look into the fork bomb bug? Do we want to? Do we want to look into the fork bomb bug? Because I might know exactly what the fork bomb bug is. And how to fix it. Okay. So here's the bug. This seems to work fine. It's great. It's great. My hell interpreter works fine. 8 frames per second! Trending downward. 6. 5. Alright. While my computer is still relatively intact, first things first, GUI sync context. This is why the frame rate's dropping. We are endlessly traversing a linked list. Or rather, not endlessly traversing a linked list, but constantly running a method that was added to a linked list. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna limit how many async continuations can run per frame. To 50. You get to await 50 things per frame. I used the wrong variable name for that constant. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this while loop going while that integer is above 0. And we keep decrementing it while we add hit. Also, obligatory null heck because C# is weird. That had significantly improved the performance of fork bombs in the game. Just by limiting how many of the async continuations involved in them can run. What the fuck? Oh, right. I have paid attention to that warning. I really should have. You know, hiding a class level variable with a local is not exactly a good idea for that very reason. Actually, limiting asynchronous continuations like that is fairly common. It won't cause a problem. It'll just execute the continuations on the next frame. See? We're getting 13 FPS. It's obviously not perfect, but... part of that... Okay, it trended straight back down to 6. Okay, part of this is that we have a debugger attached. The other part of this is that it's in build debug mode, so we're going to switch to release. And we're going to start without a debugger attached, and you're going to notice the performance is going to fly. I think. Whoa. My mouse is being weird. Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. only... only, only slightly faster. I mean, it is still trending down, but, like... You fork-bombed SDS8. What do you want? Limit frame rate impact of fork bombs. It's the greatest commit message ever. Okay, what was the issue number for that fork bomb bug? $51. Edit. Fork bombs are now spread across multiple frames and should no longer significantly affect the frame rate in release builds. Never fork bomb without protection. You're right. I have to implement that protection. I haven't implemented SigSeg or SigTerm into the game yet. I was gonna say SigSeg V, but that's a seg fault. We don't want those in the game. Okay. So, shrinking a terminal causes text to disappear. We're not gonna fuck with that one right now. Blurs don't re-render when the game's backdrop is. Windows can't be... I don't know. Okay. So Windows can't... Windows lose focus when clicking unfocusable widgets. It's the next one we're gonna hit. And I think it's gonna be the last one we're gonna hit. Basically what that bug is you click on a terminal, it focuses, it's fine. You click on the title text, not quite. It tries to focus, but as soon as you let go, it stops focusing, and the window loses focus, which is not ideal. So here's what I'm going to do. There's a method in GUI Manager called setFocus. What I want to do is set a breakpoint for when widget to focus is equal to null. So, we click the window, it's in focus. We click the window title text, it's no longer in focus. Let's figure out why. Okay, so we have a handle mouse button. So we have a hovered text widget. Prevent focus loss. I don't want to set focus widget. I want the focus keyboard focus. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be the big brain fix of the stream. Window manager is ADHD. It can't focus. That's a horrible joke. But I fixed it. I fixed it. The window manager no longer has ADHD. I'm not putting that in the commit message, though. No chance. I have some friends with ADHD who would either find that really funny or really insulting. I don't want to take the chance. You go right ahead and do that, but that's on you. That was such a fucking easy fix, though. Windows lose focus when clicking unfocusable widgets. Okay. That issue is number 42. If only it was number 420, then it would be the weed number and you guys would laugh. And then some of you would have a painful groan of distaste toward that joke. Come on. Come on, GitLab, you can do it. Okay. So, since the start of the stream, we have fixed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bugs. And what time are we at right now? 2:48 p.m. I don't know how long we've been streaming for. But I did say that would be the last bug I would track down. And admittedly, I don't know if I can track down any of the others live. They're a bit tough. Oh, about 2 hours. Not bad. Alright. 6 bugs in 2 hours? Not bad. That's about 120 over 6. That's 20 minutes per bug? I want to say. I can math, right? I think KDE can math better than I can. Yeah, I was spot on. 20 minutes per bug. Cool. Yeah. The game's definitely in a better state than it was 2 hours ago, that's for sure. So I'm happy. I had fun. I don't actually know how to end this stream off. All I know is I have plans. They involve KDE. And I'm out of energy right now, so I'm probably gonna look into getting something to eat after this stream. I might do these streams in the future. I don't know if they'll be socially distant, though. A lot of the socially distant bugs right now are pretty advanced. I've fixed most of the low-hanging fruit at this point. And a lot of the features I want to implement require team discussion and getting a sound designer on the team and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the game is getting to a point where I can no longer maintain it on my own, not because I don't have the time to program the game, but because a lot of it involves not programming, realistically. So, I imagine that going forward, I'm probably gonna be less hands-on while we work on some of that stuff, because I can't do graphics, I can't do sound. I can put those things in the game, but I can't make them. And honestly, I'd like to work on KDE and the game engine at this point. So we'll see how that goes. But in the future, there might be some Plasma development streams. I'm not bluffing. But until then, as always, I'm not gonna do the usual outro. I'm not gonna dead name myself. As always, I've been Richie. If you like what I do and want to support me, there's the Patreon link in the description below. I'm trying to get a job. Here's hoping that goes well. Remains to be seen. And, yeah. I'm gonna be working on the devlog pretty soon, because we're near the end of the month. So that's gonna be something to look forward to if you're a Patreon supporter. Why did I stutter? And... yeah. Another thing I'm thinking of streaming is I got to the end of Rock Band 2 yesterday, and there's an endless set list you unlock. And by endless, I mean it makes you play 84 songs with no break. I'm debating streaming that. I don't think I have the skill level to stream that. But I'm debating it. I don't know if you guys would want to watch 84 songs of Rock Band being played by a blind guy. Alright, well. I really don't know how to outro this. I kind of did the outro already. But, I'm gonna end it off in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys. Oh, there's a fucking dialogue box asking me if I want to do that. Yes, I do.